All right, so for the strict subset of you who were here for the gala last night, I demonstrated and talked a little bit about the performance side of my career. Today, however, I want to look a bit more at things I've done to try and engage the general public and indeed my fantastic nerdy community in geometry. So I'm going to start with two. Wow, that clock gets bigger every day. That's phenomenal. I'm going to cover two quick things that I've done, just in case you're unfamiliar with the sort of work I do. As I said before, sometimes it's general public, sometimes it's nerd specific. This mysterious object was when I was asked to do some kind of installation at a music festival in the United Kingdom, and because they're big into music and they have a lot of DJs and performances, I thought it'd be fun to make some mathematical mirror balls. And so we got a whole crew of us together. This is before the festival. We were building some 1 meter diameter ones. We built smaller ones during the festival. I was very proud of our geometry construction high-vis jackets. And then they were installed in the festival. So you can see there's two of them up there on top of that support. Very importantly, they are rotating in opposite directions. This is the next year. They brought them inside the DJ hub. There's two of them again. These are one of the 8 kite rhombus shapes discovered by a math teacher called Robert Austin, and they're based on Archimedean solids. This one's based on the snub dodecahedron, which means it has chirality. There's a left and a right-hand version. We built one of each. I was very insistent we flip the wiring on one of the motors, so these rotate in opposite directions so that they are exactly mirroring each other at all points in time, which I believe is the first occurrence of mirrored mirror balls at a music festival. Below DJing there is Simon Pegg, from probably best known here from the Mission Impossible films. We are uncertain if people were there to see the mathematical mirror balls or Simon Pegg. Now that was me wanting to get math and geometry out into a very large public space with tens of thousands of people. I also try to appeal to the online nerd community. So we saw yesterday in the talk about common nets that your standard 3D cube has 11 different 2D nets it can unfold into. The 4D cube has 261, something I know very intimately because I made all of them for a YouTube video. All 11 2D nets tile the plane. It was unknown if all 261 3D nets of a 4D cube tile 3D space. So we launched the WHATS project, which hypercube unfoldings tile space. And this was open to anyone, by any means. They could pick one and try and work out if it tiled space. There was then like a peer review system within the website, and we managed to show every single one of these nets does indeed tile 3D space. And so that was done 100% by recreational and hobbyist and just schools and educators giving it a go, submitting it to the website, and we're able to show that it works. The actual content of my talk today, and like many people, was meant to be here at the 2020 gathering for Gardner, and it got postponed. But it is an update on a campaign, which means I merely have more to update you on, which is very pleasing. And this is my campaign in the UK based on the soccer ball, another Archimedean solid. There are street signs in the UK which attempt to depict this shape, and they get it horribly wrong. As you may notice, the darker colored panels on your traditional, I should have brought one of these, I apologize I didn't. The darker colored panels are pentagons with 5 sides. I need to make that very, very clear. Whereas the street signs in the UK, if you have a close look at them, they are made entirely of hexagons. The fact that they got the correct Latin plural is insult to injury. So I started an official campaign to get that fixed. If you get 10,000 signatures on a parliamentary campaign in the UK, you have to get a response from the government. We got over 20,000 signatures on this, and they said no. I was very upset, and I was like, it was still good fodder, because I got to go on like sports broadcast to talk about why the signs were wrong. A lot of people obviously got very angry about the campaign because I thought it was ridiculous, and I agreed. And it was fodder for the stand-up show you saw a little bit of last night. I got to talk about Euler's characteristic and why we know that this shape is absolutely impossible. We tried to invent a game using a toroidal football, because that does work with all hexagons. And the shirt I'm wearing, the Say No to Mathematically Impossible Street Signs. That's not the whole shirt, but a badge version of that is in the gift exchange. It looks like this. They were meant to be here 4 years ago. The wonderful Glenn Whitney directed them. He's got the equivalent warehouse that you see at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And so the cardboard's slightly fused to the container, but if you get it off, you get a badge that says, or a pin, say no to mathematically impossible street signs. I have more of those than any one human will ever need in a bag on that table. That's the gray bag. If you're not in the gift exchange, please come and take one. But the update to my campaign is I was contacted by someone who makes custom footballs. Someone called John Paul and their partner Allison make soccer balls, but with unusual geometry. This one's made from tetrominos. My compulsory reference to the hat tiling, they did a football based on that. Rendering it very periodic. I don't know how I feel about that one emotionally. And they contacted me and said, oh, would you like to help collaborate on a ridiculous geometric football? And I said, yes. Can you build me a football which from one specific angle looks like the street signs in the UK? And they did that. So, I have, again, I'm sorry, I should have brought the ball. I haven't got it with me, but I think we can all agree. Look at that. Come on. Come on. So, my new campaign. If I'm unable to change the street signs to match the football, I'm going to change the football to match the street signs. Yes, it is a nightmare from the side. Yes, technically, if you count, the lines are quite thick on the sign, so they technically should be faces as well, like if we were going all in, but the amount of stitching leather that would require is ridiculous. Thankfully, Allison did do it, and that is the ball I did bring. Now, this is a terrible prop because only one of you can enjoy it at a time, so it's gonna take a second. I'll have this around afterwards if you want to come and have a look at it. That's pretty much, I haven't got time to go through this, but I think that's pretty obvious. And just so my flight here is tax deductible, I have a book coming out in July about geometry. I will be around for the rest. Please come and take a pin. Thank you very much. Jim stood up. I'm going to stop now. Thank you.